Welcome back to the Midday News. Amnesty International has issued a travel advisory for the United States. It is cautioning people worldwide to exercise caution and to have an emergency contingency plan when traveling throughout the states. Amnesty International says this is being issued in light of ongoing high levels of gun violence in the country. It believes the United States government has not taken sufficient steps under international human rights law to regulate access to firearms and to protect the rights of people to live and move about freely without the threat of gun violence. The police are reporting a 60% decrease in overall major crimes in Portland. The announcement was made at the annual divisional dinner and awards ceremony. The details in this report.
With hard work comes reward, and for members of the Jamaica Constabulary Force Portland Division, that sentiment recently came to life. The event, hosted by Commanding Officer Superintendent Ainsley McCarthy, brought together members of the constabulary, distinguished guests, and community stakeholders to recognize outstanding contributions within the division. The ceremony also highlighted a significant achievement, with the division recording an overall 60% reduction in major crimes.
The trend continues in 2026. We're now approaching the end of the first quarter of the year. The division is seeing a reduction in murders by 60%. Shooting are down by 100%. Aggravated assault down by 100%. Larceny down by 100%. Break-ins down by 36%. The only crime showing an increase is robbery by 1%.
Delivering the main address was Deputy Commissioner of Police in charge of Strategic Operations, Warren Clark. Special recognition was also given to retired and soon-to-be retired members for their years of dedicated service.
To our retired officers and to those who will shortly complete their service, I want you to hear this. Retirement from JCF is not an ending in itself. It's a transition. You may be closing one chapter of a life in uniform, but the values you lived, the communities you have protected, the legacy you leave behind cannot be retired.
On behalf of all the justices of the peace and the citizens of Portland, I applaud your efforts and pray God's continued guidance as you seek to protect and to make our parish safe.
Carrie-Ann Simpson, TVJ News.
It is now time for the Business Minute.
Vice President of the Jamaica Manufacturers and Exporters Association and Managing Director of Fosrich, Cecil Foster, is urging businesses to increase their use of local produced raw materials. Speaking on Real Business, Mr. Foster said this is critical to reducing Jamaica's high import bill. He noted that spending on raw materials and intermediate goods reached $2.1 billion during the first 11 months of last year, about $500 million more than the country earned from total merchandise exports over the same period. Further afield, gas costs more than $4 a gallon for the first time since the Iran war began. AAA reports regular is averaging $4.02. The U.S. oil benchmark, WTI crude, is hovering above $100 a barrel. The international benchmark, Brent crude, is even higher. Analysts worry the economic strain of the war also could increase broader U.S. inflation. And that's it for the Business Minute. I'm Prince Moore.
Thank you, Prince. Time now for the top regional and international stories.
In the region, the White House says U.S. policy toward Cuba remains unchanged, despite allowing a sanctioned Russian tanker to deliver fuel on humanitarian grounds. Officials say such decisions will be handled case by case, and vessels violating U.S. sanctions could still be seized as Cuba faces months of fuel shortages under a U.S. blockade. On the international scene, Israel's parliament finalized a bill on Monday aimed at Palestinians who killed Jewish settlers in the occupied West Bank. The bill calls for Palestinians convicted of nationalistic murder to be executed by hanging within 90 days of sentencing. They would not have the right to appeal. Israel can do this because Palestinians in the West Bank are subject to military law. Meanwhile, Israelis in the same region are governed by civilian law. The international community considers Israeli settlements in the West Bank illegal. And those are the top regional and international stories. I'm Shane Masters.
Thank you, Shane. We now head to our final break, but when we come back, we'll have your midday sports report.